this year of staying more local, and then maybe in the future looking at going back to bringing in a name act.
Does this sort of set a precedent for maybe some other organization to come in and say, why don't you take over our event, let the city do it?
We've thought about that. The only thing with this event is because we build this as the city of Spartanburg's official Independence Day celebration already. We partner with other organizations, but I think this one there was a little more partnership than some of the others, in that we were very involved with the actual coordination. It could, Councilman Snyder, it could, but wow, we'll just cross that bridge if we come to it. Any other questions?
Anyone else?
No, I just wanted to second your thoughts about holding it on the 4th, maybe next year, because I think that's a lot of the feedback I've gotten is people get really confused about when it's going to be, and it'd be wonderful to have it actually on the 4th.
They do, and although that would require staff working on the 4th, that's what we do. That's our jobs. We know we work holidays and weekends and that kind of thing. And I might just add that, and Spartanburg Community College was very honest about their reasoning. Sometimes it was based on the act, but they said I think they get something like 3 or 4 holidays a year. That's all they get. And they said to ask their employees to work on one of their holidays just really didn't go over too well. And so that was part of the reason that they never had it on the 4th. But we would definitely like to move much closer to the 4th, if not always on the 4th.
Ms. Rushmore. I'd love to see this as a community, as a local event. I think it's just it's always been such a wonderful event, regardless of who the acts have been. What I would love to see continued is, and enhanced perhaps, if we move forward with this, is the community involvement and participation by groups such as the Boy Scouts, the VFW, the American Legion, Citizens Spartanburg, just that neighborhood associations, really that beautiful hometown community feel to it. That's just my own personal insight.
Very good idea.
If we are to move forward, and I'm happy to have discussions offline about that. So thank you.
Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor, besides your sponsorship and the ticket sales, any other foreseeable obstacles?
No, really, and I hope those aren't obstacles. They're just a little unknown right now, but with any event. And the other thing with us, all of our other events are free. This is the only event that does have an admission, and it is only $5. But that's the only 2 variables. I'm gonna call them variables instead of obstacles.
Ms. Burke, I'd like to speak to the safety issue, because when this was first done at Barnett Park, there were fewer buildings there on that site.
Yes, sir.
Have y'all done a study of that?
We have. We're fortunately part of the city's team, and we have the wonderful fire department staff. Mike Gelazda is right there in all of the meetings with us. We realize that someday we may not be able to shoot fireworks from that location, and that would be a good problem to have, because that would mean Renaissance Park is completely built out. Fortunately, with the fireworks though, and you've probably, if you've not been in one, you've seen it on television, you know, there's fireworks shows inside NBA basketball games. I mean, there's fireworks shows inside ballparks. Fortunately, with fireworks, you can still have fireworks shows just by going to smaller shells of the fireworks. Some adjustments have been made over the last couple of years, and to the average person, they don't notice anything. They still see a wonderful fireworks show. And that is something that Mike Gelazda always stays on top of. He has to approve, as well as the state fire marshal approving any kind of fireworks show. And I know Mike's already looked at it, and the new building is going up, the new parking garage. But even with those, we're still plenty of room to have the fireworks safely. And I think we're several years out from not at all. Even if a new building became under construction next year, I think we'd still be safe for the next several years. And they're always, he's not going to let us do anything that's not safe, I can assure you. Right, Mike?
That's right. Mr. Mevin, you may speak to this, the current status of Barnett phase two? Will it be in
It's gonna
intact?
be cutting it very close, but it is supposed to be finished by,
The schedule would call for it to be complete, but we're weather dependent on the
Yeah,
schedule.
yeah.
And it's, we're hopeful that the weather turns and we get better weather, the contractor's moving, on site. And, just like any construction project is weather dependent, we're gonna have to watch our schedule closely.
Councilman Reed, do you have?
I think everything has been said, and I just hope this is something that we can move forward with, because the citizens do look forward to this, and having it close to the fourth or on the fourth, that brings in more revenues for us, because we lose money on the fourth, we have nothing going on, and people go elsewhere outside of Spartanburg to look for activities, to celebrate the 4th of July. So, we can work very hard at this and come up with the revenues to make this work. If it's close around to the weekend, we may wanna look at possibly rain dates, that we could go back and have it, if it's not on the 4th. So that's the only thing I suggest, but appreciate your effort and coming in and presenting this to us tonight.
I have a couple of questions.
all right, I'm ready.
What kind of money did the community college raise on this? Do you have any idea?
I know when everything was said and done this past year, they had a profit of about $10,000, which for all the work that they did, and this was supposed to be a fundraiser, and I know a lot of people would be happy with a fundraiser that raised $10,000, but when, over the years, that their profit margin has come down and down and down, and just the cost of doing business for one thing, but I think they just really decided that that was not enough for what their goal was.
Second, not a question, but a statement. Sort of like Renee, I'd like to see it brought back to the park where people can enjoy. Instead of the hotel, brought back to the park, because that's exactly what it is.
And to be perfectly honest, that's how we were able to reduce the budget. Their budget was more in upwards of $60,000. The event had changed somewhat. It was still in the park, but last year there was something at the Chapman Cultural Center, there was something at the Marriott, and that was the first thing we did. We looked at their budget and said, you know, we want to bring it back to its roots of the last 10 years, not back to the college, but of the last 10 years, and being more inclusive all inside the park. Those other events were nice, but they cost money, and it made the budget go up more.
Thank you very much for your effort. Anybody else? All right, I'll take a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve this, action request of $10,000 additional fund on the hospitality fund balance.
Second.
All right, we'll have a motion by Councilman Reader, second by Jerome. Councilman Rice.
You hadn't heard me right.
All in favor?